Now we are going to begin Unit 7 on career planning in a global economy. And this starts off with Chapter 20 on career planning. So Section 20.1 talks about preparing for a career. And our objectives this section are to discuss the importance of career planning, define at least 5 attributes you should know about yourself when analyzing careers, and describe how work is changing. So the first thing we're going to talk about is making decisions about work. Now, needless to say, making a career choice is very important. It affects the rest of your life. It affects how much money you will earn, and it also affects the amount of satisfaction you will get from work and life. A full-time job requires at least 40 hours of work per week, or approximately 2,000 hours per year. So you want to make sure you are doing something that you enjoy and not just something that maybe makes a lot of money but is miserable. Because that's a lot of time that you're going to be spending working, so make it something worthwhile. Work is essential to almost everyone's economic and social well-being. So this is going to include jobs and occupations and careers. So the difference between those words, because they sound pretty similar, is that a job or an occupation is work that people engage in to earn pay, to get money. And a career is a work history of one or more jobs in that field. So in a related field, these are all the different jobs or occupations that you've had over the life of your career. So in order to pursue a career, you want to have some career planning. And so what that's going to do is you're going to assess your potential, analyze your options, and prepare for the future. So that preparation could include your education and training as well as developing specialized skills or abilities. Part of that is going to be some self-awareness. Before you start thinking about careers, you should ask yourself what interests you. Who are you? What do you value most? Knowing yourself is the key part of the journey into this, working world. So being able to answer these questions is going to help steer you down that career path. So part of that is going to first be figuring out what your interests are. So interests are your favorite activities. These are things that you enjoy doing. So activities that you enjoy to do, subjects that you enjoy in class, in school. What type of books do you read? What type of TV shows and films do you watch? What type of music do you listen to? And, do you see a pattern going on with that? So, if you see a pattern, then that's going to help guide you towards a career choice that might be interesting. So, things that you enjoy may involve working with people, information, technology, or all three. So, most people who enjoy working with others kind of have a friendly demeanor, meaning they're pretty nice and enjoy being with other people. So if you're interested in working with people, then you might enjoy being a salesperson or a nurse, something that has interaction with people. However, several careers deal with information. Jobs that require handling information usually involve reading or doing research, so you've got to enjoy that. So if you enjoy going to the library and learning about history, then maybe you might enjoy being a detective or a lawyer. Many people interested in technology enjoy making or fixing things. So if this sounds like you, then you might find being a video producer or an electrician rewarding. All right, values. We talked about values in finance, and values are things that you believe in and kind of what guide your life. These are the beliefs and ideas by which you live. And these values help you make all sorts of decisions in life, from choosing friends to choosing classes to choosing a career. Your work values are going to be the aspects of work that are important to you. So understanding your work values will also help you select a career that's going to be important to you. So once you've looked at your interests and values, then you want to talk about looking at your skills, abilities, aptitudes, and personality. So a skill is a proficiency for performing a task that is developed through training and experience, whereas an ability is a natural or acquired skill or talent. Besides basic skills such as reading or writing, you might have a special ability to learn languages or play a sport. An aptitude is your potential for learning a skill. Sometimes people call this having a knack for something. If you kind of pick up things pretty quickly, that's having an aptitude for something. And then lastly, personality is the set of characteristics that make you special. So it's the sum total of your feelings, your actions, habits, and thoughts. If someone asks you to describe your personality, what would you say? How would you describe yourself? So you might start naming some of your characteristics. So think to yourself, what are some of the first things that come to mind when you think about, your personality? All right, and then lastly, how work is changing. So the world of work is constantly changing. We know this. Some businesses are failing and new ones are starting. Some workers are no longer needed and others are in demand. The way people work is also changing. As we discussed in our previous chapters, technology is making work possible to be quicker and faster and easier and more cost-effective. So the working world is no longer limited by country borders. So those of us in the U.S., we're no longer stuck to working in the U.S. Those of us here in Korea, we're no longer stuck to working in just Korea. The global economy continues to grow, so people all over the world are wanting goods and services that U.S. or South Korea businesses sell. So more companies are opening offices abroad, and overseas firms are operating within the U.S. or within South Korea. So companies do business via e-commerce, and these changes are creating more job opportunities for workers. So in order to be able to work, you must be adaptable to change. So being adaptable means that you are willing to learn new technologies and new ways of working. So every day, you should work to improve your basic skills. Every day. You want to develop thinking skills and build personal skills. You want to use these skills in all kinds of work, or you're going to use these skills in all kinds of work later, so work on them now. They will help you adjust to new technologies and to change. And then they will also help you compete with others in the working world. So starting early gives you an advantage over people later. That's actually it for this first section. Pretty short and sweet and to the point.